Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to DC Kids Online. We are so excited that you decided to join with us for service today. So we're going to get started first thing with some rules. Let's go over rule number 1.
Okay, so when someone is speaking, you are listening. Very good. Good job. That's right.
And number 2 is share with an adult. Sometime throughout service or sometime throughout your day today, share with an adult something that you learned from service today.
That's right. And number 3, it's normally number 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Have fun!
Today we're in the second week of our series called But You're Just a Kid. And last week we talked about a young boy named David who had amazing faith to defeat Goliath.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite stories as a kid, and even today I still love it. There's so many things that we can pull from it. But today, the person that we're talking about, a lot of people have probably never heard of this girl. Her name was Miriam. Now, do you know who Miriam was?
Yes, she was the sister of Moses.
Good job, yeah. So Moses is very well known. Everybody knows about Moses, but not a lot of people have ever heard about Miriam. But Miriam, actually, as we're gonna find out today, she saved Moses' life. And so we're gonna learn today that a kid can also be a protector. A kid can protect.
Yeah,
we're gonna learn that today. So do you like salt by chance?
I love salt, but I don't like salt on my fruit.
That's weird, okay? Because salt on basically everything makes it better.
It's pretty good on most
And that's
things,
what salt is for, right?
Right.
It's made to bring flavor, and it's made to make food taste better.
Right,
now, you probably wouldn't want to, dump this in your hand and.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
That's
that hurts my mouth.
That's pretty good. But
you're a salt lover, though.
I do love salt, but I don't even love it to the point where I just do what I just did. Okay, but wow, that was strong. So you wouldn't just pour salt in your mouth and eat it as a meal.
True. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
It just brings flavor to food.
Right.
But salt has another job. Do you know what it is?
No. What is it?
So salt is used as a preservative. So it's used to protect food. Right. And a lot
of it lasts longer.
It helps it last a little longer. That's right. And so it kind of, even though it's small, even though salt is very small,
teeny tiny.
Yeah, it has a big job, right? Number one, it brings flavor to food, and then also it protects food to make it last longer.
Okay.
And so it's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, how Miriam, she was a kid, she was young, just like a lot of them out there that are watching now, but God used her to do some big things, okay?
Cool. Okay.
And so right now, let's go ahead and jump into some praise and worship. You ready?
I am ready. Here we go.
Are you guys ready? Everybody up on your feet. Here we go.
Let's go.
Olale! What's up, DC kids? It's your boy, Nacho! Jalapeno! Nacho Jalapeno! Here today in DC Kids to bring you the Power Verse. Now today's Power Verse says, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. 1 Timothy 4:12. Okay, so now I need all of my boys to stand up on your feet. Come on, SA, stand up. Get up on your feet and say the Power Verse with me, Nacho. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. 1 Timothy 4:12. Very good, very good. You can have a seat, boys. You can have a seat. Now, I need all of my girls to stand up. Come on, girls. Stand up on your feet and say the Power Verse with me, Nacho. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. 1 Timothy 4:12. Good job, girls. Good job. You may have a seat. Wow, you boys and girls did amazing. So well that you have earned yourself an autographed signed chalupa that will be in the mail this week. So make sure that you check the mailbox straight from Nacho Jalapeno. Now today you're learning about being a kid and being a protector. And Nacho knows all about being a protector. I always have to protect my chalupas. And just like the other day, somebody tried to take a chalupa from me and I had to hit them with the stop, the block, and the Judy chop. Just like I did to win this belt. Because they were going to take one of my chalupas, and you know that's just a no-no with Nacho. Okay? Stop, block, Judy chop. And they didn't mess with my chalupas anymore. And so today you're going to learn how to be a protector even as a child. So I will catch you guys next time, and don't forget, my name is Nacho Jalapeno!
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Moses. This is Moses.
Hey-o.
Moses was a descendant of Joseph's brother Levi.
Hey.
Joseph and his brothers had many children and grandchildren who lived happily in Egypt. Eventually, a new pharaoh came to power who knew nothing of Joseph or what he had done. This pharaoh feared the Israelites because there was a great number of them living in Egypt, so he wanted to put a stop to their prosperity. Pharaoh made the Israelites slaves. He made them work long, hard hours building up Egyptian cities. But his plan didn't work, and the Israelites grew more in number and in strength.
Eek.
So Pharaoh made a rule that no Israelite boy would be allowed to live in Egypt. This is where Moses' story begins. You see, when Moses was born, his mother saw that he was a special baby, and she kept him hidden for 3 months. But when she could no longer keep him a secret, she made a basket and put him in the Nile River among the reeds. Moses' sister stayed to watch what would happen to her baby brother, and soon the Pharaoh's daughter came to the edge of the river. When she saw the basket, she sent her servant to get it. When she saw the baby, she felt sorry for him, thinking he must be an Israelite baby who wasn't supposed to live.
Excuse me.
Then Moses' sister asked the princess if she would like her to find an Israelite woman to take care of the baby. So Moses' sister went and got her mother. Moses' own mother took care of him until he was old enough to live in the Pharaoh's house, where the princess adopted him as her son. And so, Moses, an Israelite boy who wasn't supposed to live, became the adopted grandson of the Pharaoh and lived in the palace as God prepared him for a great destiny that was only just starting to unfold.
Hey guys, so right now we're going to jump into the main part of our message today. And today we're talking about a kid can protect. Now, as an adult, as a parent, it is our great responsibility. We feel a great responsibility to be able to protect our kids. We feel that we always have to be there when you guys need help to provide a safe place for you. And even when things could go wrong, we are there to try to prevent them from going wrong, and we try to protect you guys. But a kid can also protect, okay? As you see in this clip, a lot of people are familiar with Moses' story, okay? But not a lot of people know who Miriam is, and not a lot of people are familiar with her. But in fact, she ultimately saved Moses' life, okay? And so as we saw in our clip, Moses and all the Israelite boys, they were in danger, right? And Miriam, who had just as much or more compassion and courage than anyone, goes up to the Pharaoh's daughter, and she could have risked her life just doing that. And ultimately, she saves Moses, and she gets to protect him, okay? And so, as we see in this clip, Moses' survival depended on the care and protection of his sister Miriam. She played a huge part. In fact, she saved Moses' life and ultimately saved the country of Israel, all by her bravery and protecting her little brother. Okay, she protected him, and as he grew up, God used him to deliver the Israelite people out of slavery. So not only did Moses owe his life to Miriam, so did the entire Israelite nation. Okay, Miriam was just a little girl. All right, she wasn't really anything. There wasn't anything special about her. She was just a normal girl, just like all of you girls that are out there watching, you guys that are out there watching. She was just a normal kid. But yet she allowed God to use her in an amazing way. And she learned that she could be a protector just like you guys can be a protector. God can use each and every one of you. Maybe you have a younger brother or a sister that you can help to protect. Maybe you have a friend that maybe when you go back to school, they need your help. Okay, there's so many things that you guys can do, and God can use each and every one of you. Just like we saw last week, God used another boy, David. He used a young kid to slay the giant. And so God can use you, and we're going to learn about so many others in this series. You're just a kid. But today we're talking about Miriam, and Miriam played an important part in Moses' life, as we've seen. And just like God used her, God can also use you. And also he can use you to help mom and dad. Maybe you need to help mom and dad around the house without being asked. Maybe obey what they tell you to do the first time instead of having to be asked multiple times. You can serve them by doing things before you're asked. You can show them love with a kind word, a card, maybe even just hanging out with them. Okay? With God's help, you can do great, great things. You can help and you can protect others. So today I want to encourage you to pray and ask God to use you. Your story isn't going to look like Miriam's story. Your story is not going to look like David's story. God's got a specific plan and a purpose for you and for your life. And your story is not going to look like anybody else's story, and that's okay. Because God has a specific story, a specific plan for you. You just have to trust him and know that just because you're a kid doesn't mean that God can't use you. So let's bow our heads and pray. God, I just thank you so much for your word. God, I thank you that as these kids are watching this right now, God, you're already doing a work in their hearts, and you're already speaking to them about how they can help others, about how they can protect, about how they can be used by you. And so, God, I just pray, God, that you would help them to realize that no matter their age, no matter their size, no matter their skill level, no matter what they're going through, God, you can use them in an amazing way, just like you did David last week, just like you did Miriam today. God, we thank you so much for your grace and your mercy. We love you. And I just pray a blessing over each and every person, each and every kid that's watching this today. God, use them in an amazing way. In Jesus' name, amen. Guys, I love you, and I hope that you have an incredible day today. Keep watching us online. We're going to continue to put this out for you guys, and so continue to watch these until we can be in house together. I love you guys. Have an amazing day.